Hi there, I'm Jessica Abawag, and I'm a speech-language pathologist and owner of Fluens Children's Therapy, with locations in Tacoma, Washington and Columbia, Tennessee. We provide speech therapy and occupational therapy for kids. Today we're going to talk about if learning multiple languages can cause speech delays in kids. A common question that we get when we're working with families is, did introducing another language or is being bilingual in a home causing their child's speech delay? And we always want to reassure families that no, being bilingual in and of itself does not cause a child's speech delay. Now, if your child has already been diagnosed with a speech delay, there are some strategies that you can consider using to help support your child's language development in both languages. One of the things we talk with families about is making it very clear and distinct when each language will be used. For instance, one parent could speak in one language at home and the other parent could speak in the other language. That makes it very clear for the child with a diagnosed speech or language disorder to understand and predict which language is coming from which parent. Or think about your daily routines and use a certain language during each routine. For instance, maybe at every mealtime, one language is spoken, but every other time of the day, a different language is spoken. Those are some strategies that we've talked with families about who are bilingual or multilingual to consider utilizing to help support your child's language development if they are diagnosed with a language disorder. Another thing to consider is possibly introducing one language at first, and then as your child gets a little bit older, introducing the second language. And we always leave it up to the families which strategy they decide to use, but those are some that we discuss to help support the child who has a language disorder. Growing up in a bilingual house does not negatively impact a child's speech and language development, but there are some strategies like we discussed that could be used to support those who have been diagnosed with a language disorder. That does not have to be the case if your child has a speech sound disorder. For instance, every language has different sounds, and if your child has a difficulty producing some of the sounds in that particular language, you don't necessarily need to change or adjust when or how you're using the languages in your home. That would just be more of an articulation or pronunciation thing that a speech therapist could help your child work on. But overall, being a bilingual or multilingual individual can be a huge asset. As we know, the world is ever changing and ever evolving and becoming more diverse, and having more than one language can really help your child to maintain your home culture and be proud of that. It can also, as they get older, if they're traveling or depending on the job or occupation they're in, can really be beneficial to learn more than one language. So we always encourage families, if your goal is to maintain 2 or more languages, then don't let a language disorder prohibit you from doing that. You just consider adjusting how you are introducing it or when you're introducing it. And definitely talk with a speech therapist. If you're not sure if your child has a language disorder or is just having trouble learning the other language, I encourage you to give us a call and we can definitely help walk you through it. The ideal situation is if the therapist who is working or assessing your child speaks both languages. But even if they only speak English, we can still do an assessment to determine whether it's a language disorder or if your child is just taking a little bit longer to learn both languages. So again, if you're having any concerns, feel free to reach out to us, and we hope you have a great day.